Good evening, I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is Jeff Koinange Live. Tonight, you know if it's Thursday, it is Inspiration Thursday. And it's all about overcoming insurmountable odds. A great story coming out of the slums of Kibera. If you bear with me, I'll try and summarize it as quickly as I can because these guests, you need to hear their story. So, this young man, growing up, only had 2 years of high school education. One day he buys a football because he's heard about the insecurity and the number of rape cases happening in Kibera. Buys a football, starts a league, and after the league there's an awareness program. It goes on like that and everybody gets involved. Fast forward, a young lady studying in a college in the US hears about this program, decides to take a semester off and come visit and live in this man's house. We'll get to that. Cut a long story short, they start an organization called Shining Hope for Communities, educating young, disenfranchised, the poorest of the poor in Kibera for free. Started in preschool, have come all the way to Standard 5, and each year they keep growing. That's not all. They built a water tower, they built a health clinic. In a word, they are helping more than 70,000 people. Get that. The young man is only 30 years old. Young people out there, are you listening? It's an amazing story of Kennedy Odede. Oh, by the way, along the way, he's met people like Bill Clinton. Oh yeah, Sean Penn, Beyonce, Desmond Tutu, Tony Blair, and on and on and on. This man is what we talk about. We talk about the future of Kenya. Oh, remember that young lady who left the college and came and stayed in that semester thing? Well, they fell in love. Oh yeah. What a story. Hillary, are you watching? Oh my. Hillary, Jessica, and Kennedy Odede. Good to see you guys.
Great to see you, Jeff.
And I must mention, 2 weeks ago, you guys won the Transform Kenya Awards, yes. Right? The first ever Transform Kenya Awards in the Rookie of the Year category. Congratulations on that. What a story. This is a movie. I thought I could write stories. You guys are living the story. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Have I summarized it right, Kennedy?
Yeah, you did good. Yeah.
You had, I mean, you couldn't go to school because obviously you couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And you only had 2 years of high school.
Yes.
But you wanted more. You felt you wanted more.
I wanted more, yeah. So what happened is that, and then after that, I wanted to do something in my community. You know, I saw what was happening in Kibera, the struggle we are passing through, and one of my friends was killed by the police. You know, this became really hard life. So let's go back. So at the age of 10, I was a street boy because of the hard life in the house. There's no food. So I ran away. And Jeff, I can speak Kikuyu.
Huh?
I can speak Kikuyu. Yeah, let's go back. You know? So yes. That's because of the life on the streets for 2 years. We spoke Kikuyu on the street, yes. Kenyatta Market, eating from the garbage. Now remember a day when I almost got killed by stealing a mango in Toy Market.
What, Mob Justice or?
Mob Justice. Yeah. So I was my friend, we were so angry. So I went behind the woman to steal one mango and she found me. And I was beaten. But I was helped by a Samaritan who was passing by, who paid for that mango. So that's how my life has been too. So at the age of 15, I came across the book of Martin Luther King Jr. And I was looking for hope. Because what we face in this life is that hopelessness. You know what I mean? So to hear the story of Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela, so these men were like me. No, these men were having a hard time. And I said I can also change my life like these people. And what I love about them was that they changed their life, and the life of their community was not all about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the time that I got my job, my first job, when I was 17. And every time I was going to work, everybody else they were happy. It was a hard labor. For me, I was asking myself, what is the future? For how long will I work in the factory, getting 100 shillings
a day?
A day, and you have to eat, bus fare, so you have to work. And I was questioning, praying hard, man, praying, where's my future? Yeah. My mother had me at the age of 15. I'm also now struggling, you know what I mean? And then one day I come from work, I found my friend has been killed. but he was having a fake pistol, just a fake one. He went to help people down, and he was shot by police. The same month, something happened also terrible. Was my friend Calvin's, who hanged himself, saying enough is enough. Man, I said, I can't live like this. That's the time that idea came to me to buy this soccer ball. And I went back home in a 10 by 10 room that I used to live. I called my friend George and other people, and they were like, Kennedy, do you have a donor?
Yeah.
You can't start an NGO without a donor, you know? And I was like, no, look where we live. We're gonna come together, do cleanups, talk about issues. We need each other. I mean, nobody gonna help us. We are the one from this community. Man, it became a huge deal. We were performing, and that's how I was able to meet Jessica.
Okay. Oh, wait. You're preempting this. I was going to get to that. So this thing takes off.
Yes.
Everyone's involved. People are talking issues, right?
Yes.
So 10,000 miles away, Jessica's in college, and you hear about this.
Exactly. So I heard about Kennedy from somebody who had come to Nairobi and had seen Kennedy speak at the World Social Forum. And what they told me was that they were just amazed by this young man who had no money, no connections, but he didn't care. And Kennedy always said, he wasn't starting an NGO, he was starting a movement. And they heard him give the speech, and I had decided on my own that I was going to study abroad in Kenya. And so they
decided?
Just decided, much to my mother's.
I'm going to Africa.
I'm going to Africa.
Have you ever been?
No, I'd never been anywhere. I'd grown up in Denver, Colorado, and just wanted to understand what the world looked like. And so decided to come to Kenya.
But Kennedy had warned you, we don't have running water, we don't.
Let's go back. So Jessica tells me that she wants to come.
Yes. I emailed him.
She emailed me. So by this time, we are looking for what is called pride.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We have been put down, so we're like, we want a pride. So I tell Jessica, send me your CV.
And I was so nervous.
Send me your CV. Who are you?
You know what I mean? This is a movement. And this movement, what are you going to provide in the movement? You don't just take any American coming in.
No.
Any Mzungu coming in. No.
I worked really hard on that CV. Let me tell you, I spent a lot of time on it.
So you check out the
Jessica sent a CV, and I had to share with my other leaders in the group. Like, hey guys, what do you think about this lady?
Yeah.
So Jessica was really good into theater. So we had to say yes. But that was not enough. So Jessica comes in, says that, Kennedy, after working with you guys, I feel really uncomfortable going back, living in the upper class life, and then coming up here in the morning. So I want to live with your family. And I'm like, repeat again? Are you crazy? What?
Yeah.
Jessica, we don't have the toilets around here where I live, You guys have shower. We don't have shower, you know me. So life is hard, I can't live it. And she's like, no. So Jessica tricked me. You see why? She made friendship with my sister. Within a minute, she's in our house.
She's in your house.
My house, we mean 10 by 10.
Right, it's a one-room house.
One-room house.
You're all sleeping in the same room.
Right, exactly.
She was there for 3 months,
Wow. Yeah. How was it, Jessica?
It was so hard. I mean, I think that people can't imagine what life is like in Kibera. That people don't have. There's no running water. There's no toilets, and there's just a daily hustle. But I was just also so inspired by how enterprising people are, and I could leave anytime, and no one else around me had the same choice. And so that, in a certain way, also made me angry and felt like there has to be something that we can do about all these problems.
What a story. So you go back to Wesleyan. I didn't mention Wesleyan in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And because this young man is so smart, you go and recommend that he should go to college.
Yeah. So.
Okay, let's go.
It's a
I have to be honest. I was in love at first sight.
Oh, I didn't ask that.
But as an African man with pride, I had to hide.
Although he didn't hide very well. He told me this very elaborate story. So the first day we met, he held my hand, and we were walking crossing the street, and I sort of looked at him funny, and he told me, he's like, oh, don't mind, this is Kenyan culture. This is what we do. And I'm a stupid Mzungu, and I'm like, oh, I understand the culture now. Let's hold hands everywhere. And then little did I know that was not the culture.
So you were in love.
I was in love, I've been reading a lot of novels, so I know that, you don't tell anybody that you love them at the first time. They'll be like, do you know me? So I'm like, okay, what do I do? I play it cool, and I hide it. So Jessica and I have to tell Jessica this thing when Jessica got sick. She got malaria, and I thought she was gonna die. You know what I mean? So I used to go see her at the Nairobi hospital. So one day I said, this Jessica will really die. So let me just share my love before she dies. So I went to Jessica's bed and I said, I love you. And I ran back to Kibera again. I don't know if she heard it or not.
I heard.
Did you hear it?
I heard it, but I thought it was maybe delirious. I wasn't sure.
This is a great story. So, okay, let's go. You end up in college.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, they accepted you to this
Wesleyan,
yes.
Yes.
And
So being, okay, I already was doing something before going to Wesleyan. We were doing what's called economic empowerment, helping people to start businesses like barber shops, selling paraffin, because I also believe in economic empowerment, you know. So when I went into Wesleyan, at first I thought I was dead.
you thought you were?
I was dead. And I was in heaven. Man.
From Kibera to
I'm
Connecticut.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I have to call my mom to be sure that, because I took shower for 2 hours. It was like,
Everyone was like, who is this guy?
what's going on here, you know?
And the best part, I saw Kennedy and actually another boy from Kenya
Emmanuel.
sprinting across campus one day. And I asked them, and I said, why are you guys running? And they're like, why aren't you running? There's so many people. The food will get finished. And so they had no idea that something could just
I
be
thought the food
open.
would end. I was like, all these people, I'm like, oh my God, all these students?
Yeah.
And that's the dining room? No way. Number one! You know what I mean? Yeah. So being there, Jeff, is that you have to feel sometimes that there's a reason for everything. I felt blessed, and I know many people struggling, you know what I mean? And they can't reach there, you know what I mean? So for this opportunity, how can I give back? So at that moment, I was talking to other students in college, how to give back to my community. I told them my story, something funny. In Kibera, going outside Kibera, I felt guilty of coming from the slum. I had to hide it.
Yes.
I remember going to the bookshops to read. People were kicking me out because the way I dressed.
Yeah.
Now, the table has been changed. At Wesleyan, I'm a hero. I'm like, what's going on here, Jessica?
This kid from the slums.
Yes, like, why, how, you know? So, and I was amazed, like, how much, I was telling Jessica, I don't know what's going on.
The
Because
acceptance.
I was trying to hide
Yes.
where I come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The poverty that I come from.
Correct.
So I used that way of fundraising, telling people the story, inspiring them. And then Jessica and I were able to come back on my first year to build a school.
Hold on. So, how did Bill Clinton happen to hear about you?
So President Clinton heard about what we were doing, his team. And at first I thought it was, I didn't believe it was true for a while.
So the program is running in Kibera.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we
You're in
came back.
college in Connecticut.
Yes.
And he hears about what you're doing. He hears about the work. And he wants to know who the kid is.
Yes.
Exactly.
So what happened? So they organized for me an event that was going on. It was a big event. Believe it or not, it was Sean Penn and me, moderator President Bill Clinton. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? You know what I mean? I didn't believe it.
Yes.
I mean, but you know, and sometimes you never know. As you said, this is a program of inspiration, man. You never know what's next. You know, you don't have to give up, you know. So for me, I just took it, but I was a little bit shy. And that's how my friendship with the Clinton started, President Bill Clinton. From there. So, and we were
How? I mean, he was just impressed with you. He was
impressed with what I was doing. And
Well, really, you interrupted him. That's
Go on, Jessica. Tell the real story.
Well, so I, at this point, had moved back to Kenya. And so we had started the School for Girls. I think beyond that, I mean, Kennedy was really interested in how do you figure out, urban poverty is so complicated, and how do you figure out a model that really solves all of the issues in front of you. And so he had this vision of building schools for girls connected to holistic community services focused on health, on water, on economic empowerment. So this was all up and running, and I had come back to help run it while we had temporarily switched continents. So I'm watching this live stream with his sister and one of the early founders of Shopko, George, and Peter, and we're watching this live stream, and it's at the end, and President Clinton is, doing his big wind up and summarizing, and Kennedy out of nowhere goes, excuse me, Mr. President, can I add something? And he just looks at him and he's like, who are his sister Elizabeth was horrified. She's like, oh my gosh, people are gonna think, we didn't teach him any manners here in Kenya.
But he loved it.
He loved it.
I think he loved it. Yeah. He told me the backstage. Yeah. It was a good job. But I didn't mean it though. I don't know what happened. No.
So now, basically, you can pick up the phone and call President Clinton. You can.
I call her.
No, come on.
Seriously. they've been really supportive.
Yeah.
Chelsea has been coming here.
Chelsea spent
Clinton.
3 days with us here
In
about
Kibera?
a year ago. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Been really, so it's been really, they've been really good. I'm also a member of CGI.
Yes,
that,
Clinton Global Initiative.
Yeah.
I'm going back to September.
Yeah.
But I think, I think, Jeff, the idea of meeting President Clinton and all those people is not important. What is important is that how far can somebody come from?
Yeah.
I mean, when I think back of my life, sometimes I can't believe it. It's like but I believe it's one life. And I believe that it was a hard life for me, and everybody in this need opportunity. They don't need handouts. What they need is if you give them opportunity, they excel. Just like Peter Cobb, this young man who I met in Kibera 5 years ago, right now is running our operation. You know what I mean?
He taught himself how to program a computer.
You're kidding me.
Never learned how to do this formally, just like to take apart mechanics. And so now, actually all of our programs, everyone who uses any of our programs gets an ID card with a scannable barcode. And so they actually scan in. So we can actually track who's using our programs, how much money were they making when they started, what was their health, what was their education. And so over time we can see changes. And this kid from Kibera, who's 24, figured out how to program this entire system.
That would give me hope.
Okay, Jessica, real quick.
Yeah.
I mentioned the number 70,000 that you all have empowered or empowering or working with. You have actual concrete evidence is 70,000.
Yeah, we have like the database, and so we can show, and that's actually what's even more than that, because that's who we're directly touching, and so that is, their families. There's a much bigger sort of magnified impact, and it's incredible to see in Kibera and now in Mathare too.
And now in Mathare. And other than the schools, which is free for the girls, you have what, health facilities?
We have health clinic,
Yes.
and so in Kibera we have a health clinic. It's free for everyone. So
How many?
so about 40,000 people alone
Yeah.
use our health clinic, and so it's maternal and child health and also primary health services. We have the largest clean water system in Kibera. We have economic empowerment programs, and we have programs focused on ending gender-based violence. And so we're taking this model as sort of, the whole idea is connecting services to a school for girls. So people in the community start to value what a girls' school is providing in the community. And so now we're taking that same idea and scaling it to Mathare and hopefully beyond.
Kennedy, how does someone who starts off with nothing, zero, with no hope in the world, how do they end up where you are?
I think Jeff said that, first of all, it was about, I don't know what happened, but it's, I was looking for opportunity. I was looking for hope. And I think once you have hope, another thing in our culture is that you're waiting. What poverty does for you is to make you feel that, oh, I can't do it. Oh, I'm poor, I can't do it, So when I read these books, and I remember Nelson Mandela, and I'm like, I'm on fire. You know what I mean? Nobody gonna stop me.
Yeah.
No matter where you come from. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And from there, I say I don't care about donors, guys. We have to clean our streets. We have to come together. You know what I mean? And from there, it started building itself. Because if you build a movement, if you look for NGO, for money, you won't go anywhere. No. You know what I mean? I was having this on my belly. I don't want to lie to you that when I was starting shining, there it was not happiness. There was anger.
Sure.
And the way you can use anger, one, you can join the gang, you can use a gun, or you can commit suicide, or you can use it positive. And that's what I did.
Nice.
I was able to bring people together.
Guys, I want to talk more about that after the break because it's an incredible story.
Yeah.
Incredible story. You're taking back the streets, literally, one street at a time. It's fantastic. And also, what are the other plans? What are the other things you're helping? Because, again, it was, the domestic violence and the rapes and everything. Is that coming down in Kibera? Is that coming down? Do you see the numbers coming? Hold the thought, okay? Twitter handle is @KennedyOdede and @Shine.
Hope to shine.
Hope to shine.
Number
2 shine. @Hope2 shine. Of course, mine is @Koinange. The hashtag is JKL. And if you're out there listening and watching this show, folks, it is for you. Overcoming insurmountable odds.